Hi, everybody. It's Gene Simmons, and you're not, and you're listening to the Potter Than Hell podcast with Steve, BC, BB, and Dylan. But you knew that, didn't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is your last stop on the crazy train of hard rock and heavy metal. So sit back, buckle in, and hang on. Here we go.
Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome back to the Potter Than Hell podcast. This is Steve, and this week I am joined by
BB.
And keyboards this afternoon is
Dylan.
And hi, guys. We're actually recording on Sunday afternoon. Today is the 18th of April, 2021. An unusual Sunday recording for us because we our schedule got a little jazzed up these last couple weeks, so it's going to be different configurations. We're recording episodes that are going to be shelved for a week, and it's just all fucked up. But thanks for joining us, and welcome back. Hope everybody out there is doing good. We are doing good here. This is going to be an episode that is just kind of like thrust upon us within a day here. So, because we had a different plan to do another episode, and that didn't work out. Kind of got jammed up on it. So, BC is working. Actually, we passed him as we were coming in here to the where we record. So, BB, how are you, buddy?
Busy. Boys playing baseball, daughters running track and field. So it is crazy at the BB residence.
All right, that's good. That's good. How about you, Dylan? What's up?
Not too much. Just living the dream one day at a time.
All right, cool.
Nice.
And I just want to say, last week we had Dave Broski on here. He did Blue Oyster Cult with us. Thank you very much. Always fun having Dave on here. His insights are fantastic. And, you know, I'm writing shit down, listening to these albums and writing notes and shit like that. And Dave comes in, he just boom, rattles everything off. So that's why we like to get the experts in these bands that we have. And for you guys out there, honestly, if you have not checked out the Blue Oyster Cult stuff, check it out. Even if you don't like it, you will come away going, holy shit, that stuff was fucking heavy for the early 70s. What'd you think, Dylan?
It was a real fun episode. I really enjoyed those albums quite a bit. I think there's a lot of really amazing guitar work, of course, by Buck Dharma on there. And that, I believe, is worth the price of admission alone. But some of the band jam parts of it are really fantastic as well. And I think that if you haven't listened to Blue Oyster Cult, definitely check those albums out because it's a lot of great stuff, I think.
All right, and BB, you were supposed to participate, but then you ended up working, or something got jammed up with the kids with sports or whatever. And what was your thoughts on the albums? I know you didn't get to participate.
The first two were tough to get through, but musically they're a great band. It just the vocals I just get kind of hung up on, but. Actually, the third album really stuck out to me.
Secret Treaties.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. And even the live album, the live versions of those songs just blow the originals away.
Yeah, I thought so. And I just, like I said in the episode, I just didn't like how it seemed like it wasn't a cohesive live album. Like it didn't have that one show feel to it. It kind of felt like it was just songs dropped in, which... If you look at the Wikipedia page of it, they kind of are because they record. There's I think there's 12 songs on it, and it's like 8 different places that shows that songs were recorded from.
Yep.
So it's kind of, I don't know. They didn't have. I don't think they had their live chops playing absolutely, but I don't think that the guys that were producing them, recording them, like had it together to put a cohesive live album together. You know, they didn't go Kiss Alive. I'm sure this one probably wasn't recorded in the studio mostly like Kiss Alive was, but at least with Kiss Alive you have that this is a show kind of feel to it, but you didn't get that with the Blue Oyster Cult album. I mean, nothing away from the musicianship because it was fantastic. The songs were translated really well. Then, like you said, BB, they were like way better and heavier than the studio versions, but just as like a live album for me, it just like it just kind of missed in that this is a Blue Oyster Cult show feel to it.
I think they more than make up for it, though, in their later live albums, because those are, I mean, Some Enchanted Evening and Extraterrestrial Live are held up as some of the best live performances by a lot of people. So I'm looking forward to hearing your opinions on those once we get to those.
Yeah, well, I mean, Extraterrestrial Live, that I have listened to not quite a bit, but I actually have it on vinyl, and I have heard it before. I'll reserve my my comments for when we do go over that. So we're gonna definitely continue on with that series, and hopefully we can get BB and BC on the next one. And
because the next album has "Don't Fear the Reaper" on it. So
Yes!
yeah, it does. So this will be one song on there.
Play the
one
hits.
song that I know too.
Play the hits.
So, and it's going to be interesting to hear what BC has to say about it too. And guys, we are creeping up on our 200th episode. That will be in 2 weeks, I think, how the schedule works out. And we're going to have it's going to be fun. We have a whole big crew to do that episode. So we're in. And I have some participation from other podcasts.
It'll be 200 episode in 200 hours.
yep.
Yep. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a two-parter. It's going to be a two-parter because just because of the amount of people we're going to have here, it's going to be more of a. We're going to have like a conference table, like a big long conference table with everybody sitting at it. But it's going to be fun though. I'm really looking forward to it. And actually, we're recording that in a couple days, so I can't wait to get to that. So. After we moved on from that, we'll do what do we listen to? BB, what do you listen to these days?
Keeping up with the live album, I threw on the 30 years from Great White Live at the Sunset Strip. That was released in 2013 with the amazing Terry Lewis on the vocals. And how can you not want to crank up an album that starts out with the 1-2 punch of Desert Moon and Lady Red Light? Just a great, great album. Totally rocking front to back. I always liked Terry with Great White. I always brought that somewhat of a little rocky blues sound to Great White. Love their stuff with him. I think they released one album with him. It was called Elation, I believe. But great, great stuff. Check that out. Musically, great, great band, and like I said, Terry just brings it with those guys.
Was it live on the Sunset Strip? Is that what it is?
30 years live at the Sunset Strip.
Dylan, what do you got going?
Royal Blood released 2 new songs off of their upcoming album Typhoons, Limbo and Boilermaker. Limbo, it's a little bit of a different song for them. Sounds almost Muse-ish, right? If you're familiar with the band Muse, a little bit like that, a little slower pace for them, but Boilermaker's a real good kick in the teeth song for them that I really enjoy. I'm looking forward to this full album. I haven't been disappointed by them yet. They're 2 for 2, and I'm thinking they're going to be 3 for 3 with this one.
That's so weird that you picked that song. Probably about a half an hour before we came down, I was on my computer and I had YouTube up, and I was, you know how when you get on your main page, it'll, new videos and shit will come up. And I saw Boilermaker and I saw Royal Blood, but for some reason in my head I translated it to Royal Republic because there's a song that we're going to talk about on the episode tonight that reminds me of them. So that must have been in my head. So I clicked the video and I'm like, this is really fucking weird for Royal Republic. I'm like, it's not as, happy as they have been in the past. And then I'm like, oh, Royal Blood. No, I'm like, okay, that's why it's so
That checks
different.
out.
Yeah, but it was a good song. I'm like, the song's good, but I'm like, this is not good for like Royal Republic. I'm like, oh, it's Royal Blood. Okay, you dumbass. But I did like the song though.
Yeah.
It was good. Once I got past that, it wasn't Royal Republic,
Yeah.
and they got into the Royal Blood state of mind. It kind of clicked for me. But really good song. I do enjoy that. And the new album's going to be cool, so I'm looking forward to it. And for me, mine is actually 2 albums that came out this last week. And the first one is called Temple Balls. That's the band, by the way. And the album's called Pyromide. I probably listened to this album like 5 times already since it came out. It is absolutely fantastic. There's one ballad on it that's it's okay. But every other song is just great, straightforward, hard rock. Songs like Thunder from the North, TOTC. I still have to figure out what the fuck that means, but it's like an anthem type song. Bad, Bad, Bad. There's some really good stuff on there. That one, and then there's another album that I was checking out. And actually, it's weird because I was checking it out, and then literally Sonny Pooney sent this album to me and BC, or I think it was Sonny sent it. Hey, you guys need to check this out. And I'm like, I'm actually listening to it right now. This is definitely a metal album. Really good, though. Not like death metal type stuff, just like good, straightforward metal. The Metal Monsters, a song on there, Dark Steel, wisdom of the ages, but just like really good, straightforward metal. So that's what we have going this week. And for BB, it's Great White Live, 30 Years Live on the Sunset Strip with Terry Lewis on there. Good album. I really, really like the version of House of Broken Love on there.
Yes.
Really good. And Dylan has Royal Blood,
Yep.
Boilermaker, from their upcoming album. What's the album called, Dylan?
Typhoons.
Typhoons. Okay, that's kind of cool. And as we all know, Royal Blood, two-man band. Like you hear them, you're thinking, how can this be just two guys? But it is. It's crazy. And speaking of Sonny Pooney, we have a little different random thoughts with Sonny Pooney today. I have a visual.
The Potter Than Hell podcast presents Random Thoughts with Sonny Hollywood Pooney.
So I'm going to show a picture to. Here's what it says. You don't know this guy. You're off the clock in Vegas with your friends. Number 1, explain what you believe happened here. And 2, what do you do next? There's a dude laying in the hallway with a fucking potted tree smashed all over the place, and the dude's like passed out. Well, me, I sorry, BC, but I instantly thought that could be BC very, very fucking easily.
He specified you don't know
And
him, though.
he got in his mode of getting hammered up and pissed off, and I'm walking home mood and took this fucking potted tree out and just like threw it. That's my thought. What do you think, Dylan?
I think this guy blitzed out of his mind off of many substances and liquors, saw the potted plant and took the word pot, and it formed in his head like marijuana. And he thought he could conjure up some actual pot from a potted plant, and it did not go well for him. That, or it was like the episode of Breaking Bad where Walter's trying to break into Ted Beneke's office and he can't pick up the potted plant to smash it into the window.
And what do you do next?
I'd probably just walk right by him, especially if it's in Vegas. You said
In Vegas.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm sure that somebody's been made aware of it. I'm sure that
he's on one of the 800 cameras that's going there.
The concierge is coming up to deal with it. So I'm going to leave it to the proper authorities. Not going to narc on the guy. Just going to keep on going.
It's funny when you show me that picture. It seems like our first responder thing kind of kicks in. I'm like, I think I'm going to check for a pulse to make sure he's not dead. But I think he had a very bad night of gambling. I think he ordered a prostitute thinking that he was going to win a lot of money, and the prostitute actually threw that potted plant and knocked him out because he didn't have the money to pay.
Okay.
And what do you do next?
See where the prostitute is, and maybe I can get a discount.
There you go.
Because, she's looking to make money that hour.
Hey, she's there, right?
Hey, you're already there. Maybe a 2-for-1 deal.
All right. What I would do next, I would probably just make sure the guy's not dead.
Yeah, check for a pulse.
And, flip him over because you love giving the sternum rub to try to wake somebody.
Yes.
Put him in that pose like where you can't roll over and...
Yeah, well, he was pretty much in that, so...
Yeah.
Thanks, Sonny. We got a visual this week, so
Okay.
So there it is. Random thoughts and pictures with Sonny Pooney. All right, so this week, Dylan, you're going to explain what we're doing
Yes.
here.
So originally this was going to be a Dylan solo episode, and I was going to cover the infamous album Lou Reed and Metallica's Lulu. I started recording. It was the most boring thing that I've ever listened to. Did not want to put it out there. So I was originally going to do an almost an oral history of Guitar Hero, but then I thought, why not bring in the guys that are available and talk about the first Guitar Hero, go through the 30 songs, talk about them, talk about what our favorites are, our least favorites are, and what songs we think are perfect for Guitar Hero's format, note-wise, and which ones we think shouldn't have been there. So before we get into it, I just want to there were 6 categories that these songs were in the original Guitar Hero, kind of like chapters that you unlock them as you went. So just to kind of get it in perspective. Chapter 1 was opening licks, so it was the simpler songs. Chapter 2 was axe grinders. Chapter 3 was thrash and burn. Chapter 4 was return of the shred, not of the Mac. Number 5 was fret burners, and then number 6 was face melters.
Yo.
And I mean, I could go through the songs, but do we want to do that, or do we want to just go through what we thought?
Well, the way I have it down is I figure we could do our top 5 overall songs.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our top 5 songs what you thought were great for Guitar Hero. Then we'll do our gems, and then
Okay. Sounds good.
go to the bad at the end.
And then another thing to bring up before we go into it, on this original Guitar Hero, all of the songs were covers of the songs we're going to be talking about by a group called Wave Group Sound, and that was from the Guitar Hero, which was developed by Harmonix and Red Octane back in 2005, and that kind of sparked the huge craze for rhythm instrumental video games that would just kept growing and growing. And it was something that was near and dear to the three of us' hearts, because we would always come up BB's house and play Guitar Hero and Rock Band together, have a great time doing that. So this was like a blast from the past for me. What about you, Dom?
All right, I'm a little perplexed. So the songs we listened to were the original artists, right?
Yeah,
but
we
the
didn't listen
songs
to the
on the
covers.
game were
on the game. It was covers.
Okay.
Yeah, on the game it
Because
was
I'm like,
covers.
God, I'm like, that really sounded like
Because they
Ozzy.
no, I put the original
Okay.
versions of the songs, and the covers
thought
were
so.
the covers were basically note for note. The songs
Right.
that fade out, they would add an ending to it.
Right.
Like Killer Queen, for instance, they added a little ending to it instead of the fade out. But otherwise, it was basically the song, but just performed by another group.
Okay. Well, why don't before we go, do you have the
list?
songs in the
The
categories?
Yes,
Like
I
do the categories and the songs and what categories are they?
Okay, cool. Yeah. So there's 30 songs that we're going to be talking about. There were some bonus songs that we could have talked about as well, but I figured
You bring them up at the end.
Yeah, since this was kind of a last minute thing,
I know there's one shitty one.
Yeah, there was a. So the songs that were in the first category, opening licks, "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, and they were called "As Made Famous" by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, like to reference that they were covers, not actually.
Okay.
"I Want to Be Sedated" by the Ramones, "Infected" by Bad Religion, "Smoke on the Water" by Deep Purple, and "Thunder Kiss 65" by White Zombie. So the second category, axe grinders, you have "Iron Man" by Black Sabbath, "More Than a Feeling" by Boston, "Sharp Dressed Man" by ZZ Top, "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand, and you've got "Another Thing Coming" by Judas Priest. The third category, thrash and burn, you have "Heart Full of Black" by Burning Brides, "Hey You" by the Xyz, "Killer Queen" by Queen, "Stellar" by Incubus, "Symphony of Destruction" by Megadeth, and that was it for that category. Number 4, you have "Return of the Shred." Return of the Shred.
Is that a song?
Yeah, Return of the Mac. You've never heard Return of the Mac?
No.
No? Okay. Cochise by Audio Slave. Fat Lip by Sum 41. Taken Off by The Donnas. Unsung by Helmet and Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. Number 5, Fret Burners. You have Ace of Spades by Motorhead. Crossroads by Cream. Higher Ground by Red Hot Chili Peppers. No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age. Spanish Castle Magic, Dad's Favorite Song by Jimi Hendrix. And then the sixth category, the last one, Face Melters. Bark at the Moon by Ozzy, which I believe was the hardest song in the game, if I'm remembering that correctly. The free bird of the game, or the Through the Fire and Flames. Cowboys from Hell by Pantera. Frankenstein by the Edgar Winter Group. And I believe Godzilla by Blue Oyster Cult. No, that's the second to last one. And then the last one was Texas Flood by Stevie Ray Vaughan. So those were the songs that were in each of the categories. If I missed one, I apologize, because it's in alphabetical order, not by the order of the thing. So there they are.
All right. Interesting mix of songs here. And so, BB, what do you got for your top 5? We'll do like top 5 overall songs out of those 30 songs. We'll do them first.
The top 5. Okay. Number 5, "More Than a Feeling." I always love the guitar sound and the tone to this, and it always brings you back. It definitely has that, reminds you of like that 70s feel. And I love like the certain parts, like when the guitar kind of, like the music kind of slows down, but then the guitar kind of like kicks in. I love that. I love that part of that whole song. Song number 4, "Texas Flood." Like, how can you not have a song without Stevie Ray Vaughan just like rockin' bluesy, to the jazziest sound that he has? Like, he was so iconic back then, and you have to kind of incorporate him if you're going to talk about a Guitar Hero song. Song number 3 on my list, "Cowboys from Hell" with Dimebag Darrell. Hooked, you're hooked right from the opening note. He has that scratching, palm muted start that just kicks ass in that whole song. And from that first note, you are locked in. Song number 2, Symphony of Destruction from Megadeth. It has that iconic riff to it. Dave Mustaine's just so cool. And Marty Friedman, they were like back and forth dueling on that album. It's just a great, great song. It pretty much kind of almost put Megadeth on the map with that song. And my favorite overall pick is easily Bark at the Moon. And just to put one of my notes, I said the outro solo of this song is 1,000 times better than half of the solos on this list. So easily Bark of the Moon is my favorite song that they put on here.
Fun thing about Stevie Ray Vaughan, I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe he is actually in one of the later games, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he is.
I think
Maybe,
he's playable. Because I think Pride and Joy
Because you can
was
see
in
the big black
Yeah,
cowboy
the hat,
hat or
yep.
something. Yeah.
I might be thinking of Johnny Cash, though, thinking about it now. But one of them was playable. No, those were good picks. I mean, Texas Flood, that was an also ran for me because it's such a good, just soloing, just off the bat. Very slower tempo song, too, for Guitar Hero. Like, you don't normally see a slower. It's probably the chillest song.
Yeah,
I would
easily.
say out of the whole list. And yeah, I don't dislike any of those songs that you picked. Not at all. What about you, Deb?
You may hear a couple of them on there, but good picks. I mean, solid picks. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you got, Dylan?
Okay, so my top 5. I went a different route because I picked like my top 5 for Guitar Hero. I love all of them, so I kind of made sure to give special mention to the ones that may not have been the best for Guitar Hero, but I still love them anyways. Cochise from Audio Slave. I mean, you can't go wrong with Rage Against the Machine plus Chris Cornell. Fantastic. I love the riff in that song. Really, really great work. Number 4, I'm sure Dad loves this one, No One Knows by Queens of the Stone Age. Come on. It's such good riffing. I love Josh Homme's voice. I love Dave Grohl playing drums on this song. It's just a great, great song. Number 3, Fat Lip by Sum 41. This is a song I know the lyrics to front to back. This was a blast from the past for me. Stormed into a party like my name was El Nino. They name check Iron Maiden and Judas Priest in there. Maiden and Priest were the gods that we praised. I really love the tongue in cheek aspects of this song. Trashed my own house party because nobody came. It's just a fun like loser anthem for the band, and it's a cool change of pace between the verses and the chorus, where it's like kind of like a bouncy vibe for the verses, and then like a straightforward rockin' vibe for the chorus. Number 2, Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand. This song is a fucking jam. I love it so much. The riff on it is great. It's a song that I listen to all the time, like outside of the show. You can't go wrong with a band that's named after the person whose assassination sparked off World War I. It's just a fun, like, I say, don't you know? You say you don't you? And like I love how the beginning is so different from the rest of the song. It just has that real cool shift that it's such a bouncy, awesome song. And then number 1, I have to give it up to Queen, Killer Queen. This is a classic, really fun to sing along to. Brian May's guitar tone, just like you were saying with
Tom Schultz, I think.
Yeah.
From Boston. Yeah,
Boston. That's right. That's who you were talking about with that. Just iconic, the Red Special. And like you can't have a Guitar Hero without a Queen song somewhere. Just really, really fantastic. So those were my top 5.
All right. Well, for me, for your list, I will be talking about all of those songs in one way, shape, or form.
I figured as much.
At some point in this episode.
I figured as much.
So I'll let BB. What do you got?
All right. Cochise. Love that song. And, now I don't know where I threw that on my list because I don't know why I missed that. I love that. That's a great song. And, like, Tom Morello just kicks ass. And, just like your dad, unfortunately, you may hear another song or two on another list on the other half of the show.
That's why I picked them for my top, because I knew that you guys were going to bash them.
Well, actually, I will say Cochise is nowhere on my good or bad list, but that's just because I couldn't fit it within the frame of 5.
Yeah.
But I really like that one. The riff is fantastic.
It's so good. Tom Morello's so good.
I didn't hate that song. I really liked it. So
Okay. What do you got, Dad?
all right, my top 5 songs. I'm gonna go like 5 to 1. I gotta stick with Blue Oyster Cult, Godzilla, monster riff, fucking fantastic. Love that song. Killer Queen, even though it's I don't think it's a really guitar-driven song, but it's a fantastic song. I like the feel of it. Is kind of, I don't know. I like it. It's weird the way that I can't even describe why I like it. I got to go with BB too. More Than a Feeling, Boston. Just fantastic. One of the best debut albums like ever recorded. Sorry, Heather. I know you're wrong about that. Another Thing Coming, Priest. I got to go with Priest. And all I could see is that goddamn video for Another Thing Coming. It's another one I can't separate the song from the video, especially the solo when it blows up and the guy's pants fall down. It's just fucking fantastic. And number one, my number one is the same as BB's. Bark at the Moon. Sick Bananas solos in the middle, at the end. Just one of my probably top 5 Ozzy songs to begin with, let alone that it's on this game. And I think this was one that I attempted, and I was just like, no. I just totally, even on the easiest thing, I just fucking sucked at it. So that's my top 5.
No.
Very good list. Godzilla, that's another iconic Blue Oyster Cult song. It just stands the test of time. Just listen to those riffs that goes on there. And I'm really glad that I didn't put Killer Queen on my bottom 5 because you guys have him in the top 5. And when you talk about Brian May and you listen to that song, I just feel like there's more piano than guitar work, and there's so many thousand other songs they could have picked.
Right. Well, that's why it's in my top 5 favorite songs, and it I'll tell you right now, it doesn't even come close to the Guitar Hero playing songs on my list. I just put it on the top because I like the song, but definitely not for Guitar Hero.
This was actually the reason why I got into Queen.
I think I transposed my lists. I think I transposed my list.
We'll work with it.
We'll work with it.
Wow, it's usually me.
I know, right?
All right, so let's go with our what 5 songs do you guys think were the best ones that translated for you to play on Guitar Hero? And I do have to say, I know I mentioned it on an episode a long time ago. I was watching the Extreme DVD where they played live, and they were going to do Play With Me, and it was one of the songs, Dylan, I think you talked about that earlier.
It's on Rocks the 80s, yep.
It's one of them. And
the hardest song on that song.
And Nuno Bittencourt was like, you know what, you might have heard this on Rock Band or Guitar Hero, and he's like, fuck that shit, pick up a real guitar, learn some songs and play in front of people, and these guys will attest to it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking do that. I'm not going to play another note of Guitar Hero until I pick up a guitar, learn some songs, play in front of fucking people, and I did that. I went, I bought a Epiphone SG, I bought an amp, learned some songs. All 3 of us here in BC and our buddy Rob, we did a band, we did a benefit. Actually, the first time we ever played was at Dylan's 16th birthday party.
Yep.
And it was myself, Dylan, BB, and BC. We did Blitzkrieg Bop from the Ramones. And it was fun. And then we did a benefit with a 5-piece band, and we did Blitzkrieg Bop, we did Breaking the Law from Priest, and we did Roadhouse Blues from The Doors. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. So I can play. And then we played at Carson's graduation party.
Yeah, a little bit.
We played that, and then we played with Blue London. We played with Blue
London
up at this bar. It was like, oh, and that was funny too because that's Dave Borowski's band, you guys, that was on the show last week, and we got up, we did that, and I remember Dave being so pissed off at his guitar player. It was like halfway through the night, he brings one guitar to a gig, no fucking spare strings, and he broke a fucking string like in the first set. So then like I'm playing this guy's guitar with like 5 fucking strings, and I'm like, I'm bad enough as it is. Like, I'm not gonna have to play guitar with 5 fucking strings. But I remember Dave was so mad at us. So like we got the, I'm not saying it was any way, shape, or form good, but It was fun, and I'll tell you what, and I give credit to anybody that has the balls enough to strap on a guitar, pick up a pair of drumsticks or a microphone, or get behind a keyboard and play in front of people. My hat is off to you, even if it's music that I don't listen to or don't like. Kudos to you. All right, so 5 songs that translate the best. Dylan, what do you got?
Yeah, Guitar Hero also important to me because that's what got me to start playing music. Like that, I was pretty damn good at Guitar Hero, and you guys bought me a bass guitar, and the rest is history. But for the top 5 that I feel like were really good to include, and I specifically was thinking the first Guitar Hero, this is our statement game. Like we have our statement albums, that's our statement game to the public. What songs do we want to include? I feel like Iron Man by Black Sabbath was the perfect song to include on the very first Guitar Hero because it's that iconic riff. It has a really good, it starts off slow, but then there's the really cool amp up part in the middle that really gets it going, and you have the soloing throughout. So it has the ebbs and flows that I think would work really well in terms of playing the notes for Guitar Hero. Number 4, Take It Off, the Donnas. First off, love this song. This song's fantastic. It would have been on my top 5 of all if I didn't include it on this list. It has the energy that I think you need for Guitar Hero. Good solo in the middle of it. A really fun riff that I feel like would be really cool to play with the notes. Godzilla, Blue Oyster Cult. Another fun riff. You have the soloing interspersed throughout the entire song. So you're constantly playing a new lick and a different set of notes than you were throughout the whole song, so it's not boring. It changes it up throughout. Number 2, Bark at the Moon. Like the flurry of notes that are involved in this song, it was perfect for Guitar Hero. This is like you cut your teeth to it separates the wheat from the chaff.
It's like when you used to play Space Invaders and they're coming out really fast and you're trying to fucking kill them.
Like a perfect final boss, if you will, for this game. Really, really fantastic pick. And then number 1, Cowboys from Hell. Really, really great riff. Again, you're playing air guitar to it. You're just having so much fun with it, and it has so many cool changes in it. The soloing is really great. That's probably my favorite song to air guitar to in this entire list because it's got that groove, and even if you were to add the other instruments too, it would be really fun to play along with because you could like the bass line from Rex Brown is very much still the same riff, and the drums from Vinny. Yeah, it's really, really. That's my top 5.
All right, cool. And it's funny. There's like one of your songs is in my top 5.
Oh yeah.
For Guitar Hero, which is I'll go over them. But good picks. But it's funny because I'm sure we're all picking from a different perspective.
Yeah.
I'm picking from perspective of how I played the game and my skill level at the game that I would have the most fun and be least frustrated at.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from when I give my picks. But and obviously the songs that Dylan picked, he was way more advanced in Guitar Hero than I was.
Yeah.
Because when you hear the songs I picked,
I went up to medium. I was getting the blue note in there.
What do you got for him, BB?
Very good list. Cowboys from Hell, great song. Bark of the Moon, iconic. But it's funny, the one song that was on your list, like Take It Off I don't know what it was from the Donnas, but that was super catchy song.
Yeah, really good.
And is that like are they girls?
Yeah, the Donnas are an all-girl group.
That's cool.
I want to say, didn't they have a song on the Detroit Rock City soundtrack, or was it on the like Kiss My Ass? Classic Kiss.
They were on one of the. They might have been on the. I think they were on the Detroit Rock City soundtrack. I think.
See, now that you say that, now I kind of remember something like that. But
they were on one of them.
Super
I know they were on
catchy
one
song.
of them. I don't think it was "Kiss My Ass" though.
I see songs on soundtracks and couple. Yeah, they did Strutter on Detroit Rock City soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the very, very catchy song, and I don't know why I knew the song, but I don't know them.
Yeah.
But very good list, and like I said, Donnas.
It was on the Dodgeball soundtrack.
I may have to
Get
into
cover
them.
of Keep On Loving. That's pretty cool.
I'll go next with mine. And like I said, I'm picking from a perspective of what is, what I can play and what I like. So, and I have an honorable mention that just missed my list. Unsung by Helmet.
Okay.
Because I like that, because I think that would be easy for me to play. but I also like it. I picked Fat Lip for my number 5, Sum 41. I like the tempo changes in it. It's I'm not a massive fan of the song, but I like the tempo change in the song. And then I go with which was actually one of the first easy songs, Thunder Kiss 75 or 65 from White Zombie. I've always liked that song. It's got a good groove to it, and it's one that Rob Zombie still plays to this day. For my number 3, I have Take It Off by the Donnas. I fucking love that song.
So
it's
good.
fucking fantastic. Like, it's a hard driving, and it's got a really simple solo that I think I could absolutely pull off on the game. And I go number 2. I got to go with my boy Lemmy, Ace of Spades. Down, 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 down. Love it. I would like to do that game on Rock Band, and I'd like to try the vocals on one too.
Oh, right.
If you like to gamble, and I go with number 1, the all-time beginner guitar player riff, "Smoke on the Water." Bow, 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 bow. Love it. Deep Purple, fucking fantastic. Can't go wrong with "Smoke on the Water." And I love the solo in that song too. That is just one. I'm like, I hear that solo and it just like soaks into my brain. I fucking love it.
Yeah, those are. I will be talking about some of them, perhaps down the road. Yeah, have we all become the Donnas? Like a fan of the Donnas because
Well, at least this song.
it's a really good. It's a really good song.
I mean, I would listen to something else that they have just to
They
see
do a
if
cover.
to
Of,
see.
they
if
do a
it-
cover of "Speed It Back to My Baby." Apparently,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, right.
I'll play it during the break, and we could.
Can't be any.
We could give our
Can't be any
opinion
worse
on
than
it.
Ace's version.
Yeah, right.
Boo, speed it back.
I'd be interested to hear the lead because there's a lot of cool lead guitar in the Ace version.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll have to play that on a break. Okay, what do you got, baby?
Yeah, Rob Zombie with White Zombie, Johnny Five, another guitar god that finally is mentioned here because there's so many songs.
I don't think he's on that.
No, he was not.
Oh, he's not?
It's White Zombie.
White Zombie.
Oh,
Yeah.
he didn't play. He didn't play with.
He was not with
He
White
was on with
Zombie.
Rob Zombie, like when he changed, when it wasn't White Zombie.
Oh, so he didn't play.
He's
with,
played it
oh,
live though.
Okay,
The-
so when he plays it live.
The guitarist for White Zombie is. See, I never. Oh, there we go. Personnel. It is Jay Unger.
Oh yeah, he lives down the road. Jay Unger.
He's the neighbor that keeps on throwing the bushes over BB's fence.
Also known by the stage name Jay.
Ah, Jay.
Make it simple.
Great job, Jay. He could be J6 instead of Johnny 5. But a very good list, and now I feel like an idiot. But
Don't worry about it,
all
BB.
right,
It's okay. I already.
I failed in the Guitar Hero. They booed me. Boo.
Oh, I got a lot of boos on that. That was cool too when you failed. They boo you. That's fucking. I
love
forgot
that
about
they
that.
had
That's
the
awesome.
crowd reacting to how well you did.
That's
Like,
true.
That's
too.
always so
Yeah.
cool.
Because there's like a crowd meter, isn't there?
There's
Yeah.
a crowd meter, and then once your star power was filled up, you could lift up the guitar
Oh, you can do
neck
stage moves and shit.
and then get double points.
All right, BB.
All right. My list, I think these kind of incorporate a little bit of iconicness, fun to play, almost like kind of grab me musically as well. Number 5, A Higher Ground from Red Hot Chili Peppers. I really enjoy these guys, and this song is definitely one of their hits. Definitely one of those. They're like a closet band for me. I occasionally like to listen to these guys because they have just a different sound, and playing Guitar Hero to this song is definitely one of my favorites. Song number 4, No One Knows, from the Dylan
Queens of Stone
Stone
Age.
Queens of Stone Age. I honestly love that song. That song is easily, even though that's their biggest hit, that's easily my favorite from these guys. And it's so catchy, and the riffs in it are really, really cool. And I always love playing that song. That may have been one of my favorite songs to play, but that's definitely a really, really cool riff song. Song number 3, Smoke on the Water. you have to pick something like that if that's so iconic, from the 70s. And once you hear like the first note from that, you know where that song's going, and you know what song that is. Song number 2, almost pretty much the same thing as Iron Man. How can you not have a Guitar Hero without Tony Iommi? Love Iron Maiden. Love the Iron Maiden. Love the Black Sabbath. Love the Iron Man song. And song number 1 I thought would probably be the funnest to play would be You Got Another Thing Coming from Priest. Really front to back, a lot of notes,
Good
a lot of
chugging
strumming
guitar.
in there. Fantastic. And that was easily a favorite of mine back in the day too to play. So that's my list.
I like the list mostly. And I was going to bring this up later, but actually you have 2 of the songs. I was thinking, listening to these songs, like some of these would be cool if there was like a fucking bass hero.
Yeah.
Like listen, like and I wrote down like 4 songs, like Iron Man. That last part is really cool. Cochise, the bass is fantastic in it. Take It Off from the Donnas has got a real simple bit, but it's a driving bass. But the one I have that like my number 1 for like would be a bass hero thing would be the Higher Ground. It starts out with the bass.
Yeah,
It's fucking.
sure.
I mean, it's like holy fuck! Like if they had like a bass hero section, that would be a perfect song for it.
Yeah.
Coolness.
Well, and like starting with the 4th Guitar Hero, they did add the other instruments as well as Rock Band
Right.
also doing that. But like going forward, they would have tracks for the bass if you wanted to play it.
Okay.
Which is cool. Which is very cool. Yeah, that's a good list. Higher Ground is a Red Hot Chili Pepper song I always forget about. I think it's a Stevie Wonder cover.
Stevie Wonder, right?
But it's a really, really solid song for them. And you almost don't recognize, because Anthony Kiedis' vocals are so different on that song as compared to like all the other songs that you hear from them.
Yeah.
There's like a lower quality to them. And I'm just not used to it, but really, really good song. I liked all your songs for good picks for playing Guitar Hero, I think. I might have 1 or 2 that I disagree with, but we will get there when we get there.
Yes, that's the best part. All right, so there's our top 5 Guitar Hero songs to play from the very first issue of Guitar Hero. Our top 5 songs overall and our top 5 songs to play on the game. So we're going to go into our gem song. This week I picked, and I know Dylan loves this song, and I do too.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to play a song from 2011 from the Anthrax album Worship Music, and it's called The Devil That You Know. Fucking kick-ass song.
Yes.
Check it out. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed The Devil That You Know from 2011's Worship Music album from Anthrax. Fantastic album. And Dylan, you're a huge fan of that album.
Oh yeah, that's the album that really got me into Anthrax for sure. That was a very defining moment for me, and we saw them on that tour.
We did. It's hard to believe that album was 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2011.
Wow, that's crazy. And I still would love to hear John Bush sing them songs. And no disrespect to
Or Corey Taylor,
to Joey,
because Corey Taylor was rumored to be joining.
BB's leaving. Why?
Because he's a Joey Belladonna fan.
That's my Anthrax boy.
Really?
Wow,
I've never seen BB get up and walk away from the table before.
That's a Dylan move.
Wow. Fuck you guys.
I'm going home. I'm walking home.
Fuck you and your John Bush. And like I said, nothing. But I mean, he sings fantastic on that. And actually, that's when that anthem they put out that Anthems EP right around that time too.
Yeah.
And like when that first came out, it had "Smoking from Boston." It had "Keep on Running" from Journey. I'm like, how the fuck is Joey Belladonna gonna sing fucking Journey? He kicks ass on it.
Yeah.
He kicks ass on it. I'm like, holy shit. But I still would like to hear John Bush sing these songs. Anyway, all right. So let's do a little hidden gem action here. I'm going to go first this week, I think. This is a band that I actually know nothing about, but I have checked them out. I've seen them on the Melodic Mafia on Facebook. They posted some stuff on there, I think it was. And the band is called Midnight City, and the album is called There Goes the Neighborhood. Not the body count. Not Ice-T and the boys.
Ice-T.
And it's spelled Neighbor, like the British spelling, B-O-U-R, hood.
That's a great song.
But really good, like party, straightforward hard rock party album. Here Comes the Party is the first song, so how can you go wrong with an album starting with that? It's got the whoa-whoas and the hey-heys right off the bat. Songs like Give Me Love, We're Gonna Make It, which is not a version of the Twisted Sister song either. Heaven's Falling, just some really good, straightforward hard rock. They have a couple albums out, and I think they have a new one coming out this year, I think, as well. So check that out. Midnight City, There Goes the Neighborhood. What do you got, Dill?
I was looking through the new music on Apple Music and came across, I was looking in the metal section, and I saw that the soundtrack for Thunder Force, the Netflix movie, was in the metal section. It's the movie, the superhero movie with Melissa McCarthy, Octavia Spencer. And I'm thinking, why is the soundtrack in the metal section? So I click inside. I see that the first track, also called Thunder Force, is performed by Corey Taylor, Lizzie Hale, Scott Ian, and Dave Lombardo. And I listened to it, and it kicks ass. It's a really heavy song. And Scott Ian and Dave Lombardo play on a bunch of different songs on this album. And it's really good. It's some pretty good hard rock, heavy metal stuff for a Netflix movie that you just weren't expecting. Dad, I played it for you. What'd you think of that song?
I thought it was cool. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, and I saw that too when I was going through the new stuff on Apple Music, and I'm like, what the fuck is this doing there? Yeah. And I just kind of dismissed it. And then Dylan sent it to me, I don't know, either yesterday or the day before, and I totally forgot about it. And then he asked me on the way down here if I heard it, and I told him I hadn't gotten a chance to listen to it. And he played it for me before. It was good. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that is Corey Taylor singing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is like heavy for a Melissa McCarthy movie.
Yeah. Corey Taylor and Lizzie Hale do a really good back and forth vocals, really fit together.
We're debating on who does the guitar solo on there. I say Lizzie Hale, he says Scott Ian. But I've never known Scott Ian to do guitar solos.
But he can do it. He has the capacity.
He can, but I don't know. But it's good. And I'm not
it's really good.
Dismissing Scott Ian's guitar playing. I mean, he's one of the best rhythm guitar players that's
he comes
out
up with
there.
Fantastic riffs.
But I've never known him to play like any solos. And he plays all rhythm on the Motor Sister stuff too, which is I'll tell you what, guys, if you haven't checked out Motor Sister, check them out. And they're supposed to have another album coming out too. Just absolutely fantastic band, and Scott's fantastic. So we're debating. I say Lizzie Hale on the solo, and Dylan says Scott. So Lizzie or Scott, get back to us. Let us know, who plays the solo on that song. What do you got, BB?
All right, let's go back to 1988. These guys are out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. The band is called Slave Riders. The song Sin City Social. It was off the What Do You Know About Rock and Roll album. They are almost like a Lizzie Borden meets Accept.
Really?
So they are, It's a definitely different sound, a little melodic, but vocally Lizzie and Accept kind of mixed in there. But a definitely really, really cool song. The band is Slave Riders. The song is Sin City Social.
All right. There's our hidden gems. I have Midnight City. There Goes the Neighborhood. The album's actually from 2018. Dylan has the Thunder Force song from the Thunder Force soundtrack, Netflix movie. And BB's got from 1988 Slave Riders, Sin City Social. So check that out. I'll have to check out that one, BB. I've never heard of that before. So, all right, so let's get to the good stuff, the shit that we hate. The songs you love to hate. So let's do this first. Let's go with the songs that you think don't translate the best for Guitar Hero, and then we'll flip it, and we'll do our overall worst songs last. And so go ahead, BB.
All right, so the songs I don't think fit well in Guitar Hero because I think there could have been a lot of better songs picked. Song number 5, Ace of Spades, because I think that's more of a bassy song. You think of Motorhead, you think of Lemmy, you think of like bass. It's not one of those bands that you think of guitar.
Not even now.
Song number 4, I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones. I think maybe they kind of wanted to go somewhere like kind of get the dads involved maybe with that one. Kind of pick something out of like the deep 70s. But I just don't think that translated well. Song number 3, Frankenstein from the Edgar Winter Group. I don't think that translated well because once again I don't think it should be like when you think of Edgar Winter, you think of like his organ or his synthesizer strapped to him. When I think of Edgar Winter, I do not think Guitar Hero. I don't think that should have really been in there at all. Song number 2, Ziggy Stardust, because there's really not a lot of guitar sound in that song, and there are a couple strums, couple riffs, but that could be like down with the Ramones in that category of kind of, hey, the son's playing, hey dad, you know who, Ziggy Stardust, kind of get dads involved. And I think the song that didn't translate well for me because there could have been 1,000,000 songs better picked is Killer Queen. Brian May, one of the top guitar players ever, and you pick a song that is heavily piano noted, and it doesn't really showcase what Brian can actually do. So that is my top pick for not translated well.
Okay, I agree with some, and two things you said too. The like the Ziggy Stardust one and the Ramones. There's like no guitar solo in them, really.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with them with that. And you may hear some other ones.
Yeah, I do have some that you have on your list on mine as well. I'm a little more, I guess, okay with Killer Queen because I know a lot of Queen songs that only have the guitar in the solo and the rest is just piano driven. So like there is the guitar accenting throughout the whole song with the bum, bum, bum. But I could see what you mean for sure. I love the solo in that song as well. Like I just love that song so much. So it just hurts to see it, but I understand what you mean.
It's got to grow on me. It's like Alice Cooper. Alice is kind of slowly growing on me.
Yeah. No, but those were some.
I have to get David Bowie to grow on me.
Those were some solid picks and some solid reasoning as well, I think.
Who do you got, Dylan?
Okay, so a lot of the songs that I picked, I think are either too repetitive or they don't have enough oomph to it or enough guitar parts, just like BB said. Symphony of Destruction was number 1 for me. I feel like you were saying with Queen, I feel like there were so many different songs you could have picked from Megadeth that would have been better because this one's very much the same. Like it's just so simple that I don't know. I can't get behind it. Ziggy Stardust, I agreed with you there. I do love this album and I love this song. But again, I think there's better songs you could have picked. You could have picked Moon Age Daydream that has more of a solo in it. Suffragette City would be a great pick from this album. Like, there were better songs that you could have picked than Ziggy Stardust, which is very simple. A lot of it's acoustic guitar underneath too. There's not like there are a couple different electric parts, but there's a lot of acoustic during the verses. Thunder Kiss 65, I think it's too simple. I know a lot of you guys had it in your tops list. There's not a lot going on, and a lot of the guitar solo, quote unquote, is like kind of a droning, like noise solo more than
a lot of his
like
songs don't have really guitar solos.
Yeah,
in them.
more than like a technical solo. So that's why I had that on my list. I Want to Be Sedated. I agreed with you again, BB. I love the Ramones, as we discovered in Jen's episode. But it's too simple. It's just the same thing over and over. A key change, like going up a key. That's basically it. There's nothing really to it. And then I Love Rock and Roll. Again, I think it's too simple. I just, I don't know. I know this one's probably the most controversial because there is more guitar parts to it, and it's such an iconic riff. But I don't know. I feel like there's better Joan Jett songs. Again, like Bad Reputation would have been a really fun one to do. Like, has that energy, and I don't know. I just can't get behind I Love Rock and Roll being on the first Guitar Hero for some reason. But
yeah, I think the Joan Jett is a good example too. Like, I think they just picked probably her most recognizable song.
Mm-hmm.
I think
agree.
and I think some of these songs like that too. Like, ooh, like shit, there's Motorhead on there. You know, ooh, there's Rob Zombie's on there. Ooh, Joan Jett. You know what I mean? And I kind of agree too on the Megadeth one's a little repetitive.
Yeah.
If like you don't have it's that mid tempo thing. Like the chorus is fantastic in it.
yeah, the chorus is great.
But I could definitely feel
And
for
the
something.
pre-chorus of the dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, like that's fun. But the dun, 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 dun,
Right. Okay.
it's very simple.
All right, and for me, for the ones that I don't think translate well for the Guitar Hero, I got to go number 5. I got to go Texas Flood, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I think it's just too slow,
mellow, yeah.
too mellowish to play. It's, I mean, the guitar work is fantastic on it, but it's just so spread out. I think. I agree with BB Killer Queen. Just too much piano on that one. Edgar Winter Group, Frankenstein. I definitely agree with that because there's a fucking drum solo in it.
There is.
You know, I mean, why do you have one of your songs on Guitar Hero that's a fucking drum solo in it? That's
a good point.
Ziggy Stardust is definitely one that's up there for me, and Spanish Castle Magic.
There it is.
You may
hear that again.
You may hear that again. So I'll get into that later, but that's my 5 though that I don't think translated well.
I will say I think there are better Hendrix songs to put on there, but I do think it's a good song for Guitar Hero. It's got a fun little jaunt to it. I can see what you mean by Texas Flood, and I think I agree. It is a little too lackadaisical for Guitar Hero. Really fantastic guitar playing on it, and I do love the song. I just when I think of Guitar Hero, I think of energy. Getting the crowd pumped, and that's kind of a
and one that just kind of missed for me was the Cream song.
Yeah, Crossroads.
Oh yeah, Crossroads.
It's a good song, but like, why did they put a live version on there?
Well, I just picked the live version, and it wasn't the live version. Like I said, these are all covers.
Oh, okay.
So I just picked the most popular version.
Okay,
Right.
That's
Okay.
because that's how I was confused before too. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, I do like that song though.
Yeah,
Okay, I understand.
I understand. Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of teeter here because you think of Stevie Ray Vaughan, you think of Jimi Hendrix. There are a lot of notes flying in that.
There are. No, I agree.
And
That's why I didn't put it on my list because
it kind of teeters of translating well. It's. I thought those songs, like especially Stevie Ray Vaughan, I thought that song translated fantastically because of the many notes that he plays towards that.
yeah,
And it's tough. Like I would love to be in that room of, hey, let's pick this song. Let's pick this song. Where did the criteria
What's
come
the
up?
thought process?
Where did we
picking this shit?
Like, why did we pick Spanish Castle Magic? Like, why did we pick that? Why didn't we pick, Along the Watchtower, which everybody knows, and there's like amazing guitar solo in that.
Yeah.
So
and I believe Along the Watchtower does appear. I want to say Guitar Hero 5. So like a lot of the songs that were like, well, why didn't they pick this? They do get to it eventually. But
Well, they had to cut it off somewhere too.
Yeah, and you got to think also, this is like a brand new thing. Like nobody's really gonna know how this is gonna turn out. So some people might be hesitant to give out their heavy hitters. Some people might just think these guys are a joke, and it's like, oh yeah, sure, just you can take this song. Yeah. So we really don't know what and I agree. I wanted to be in that room to see these are the songs that we want. This is the songs we're gonna get. Like what was the process there? Did they have did they throw like a dozen songs at the artists and say, hey, which ones are you guys cool with us using? It's a really fascinating behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Absolutely. All right, so now for the best part. What songs do you dislike the most out of all the songs we listened to? 30 songs. And then when we get done, I want to know if there's any songs that surprised anybody that you hadn't heard before, or you hadn't heard in a while that you're like, ooh, I forgot that song was so good. Mm-hmm. So let's go with the that way we end on a high note.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So let's go with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick this off.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna go 5.
Break my heart.
I'm actually gonna go 1 to 5. I'm gonna go first.
Your most hated.
Yeah, my most hated is definitely Spanish Castle Magic.
Yeah.
I dislike all things Hendrix. There's a couple songs that I think are okay, like Crosstown Traffic is good, Foxy Lady's good, Voodoo Chili's good. Mostly when other people play them. I love them.
Chili and then
Voodoo
Child. Slight
Voodoo
Return.
Child, whatever.
Voodoo Child is better.
The Voodoo song.
Yeah. Both of them I like anyway. But I love when Crucial Taunt does Foxy Lady on Wayne's World. I'm just not a Hendrix guy. I don't get it.
They do Fire. They do Fire. And
they
Garth
do Fire.
Garth is like.
He does the that's
Stan
when
McKee's
the girl
donuts,
walks in,
yeah.
right? I'm just not a Hendrix guy. My next one is Stellar by Incubus. Terrible fucking song. It's bad. It's really bad. 3, Ziggy Stardust. We know what my feelings were when Dylan did that at a birthday album. It's just so it's like just like a slog to get through.
That's where Metallica got Leper Messiah from, though.
I'm not a huge fan of that song either.
I'm done.
Everybody's walking out today.
Everyone's got their walkout song tonight. I'm not a fan of it. BB's gonna hate me for this one too. No One Knows, Queens of the Stone Age. That's one of them shitty songs that we did for the Grammy ones too, wasn't it?
It was.
Best song ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
I dislike it as much now as I did then. And then my number 5 is Spanish Castle Magic by Hendrix.
Okay.
Again? It can't be 1 and 5.
It's so bad it made my list twice.
It's bookends.
All right.
Only one of those songs is on my list. The rest I disagree with you on.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. The Queens of the Stone Age.
So
what
good.
the hell? There's something wrong with
It's
you.
such a good riff. Like the riff alone is
So many time changes, the riff, the guitar work, the drums.
Doesn't translate. Translate.
Something's wrong with you.
yeah.
I've heard that before.
Okay, my bottom 5. So I want to put out a disclaimer. I like all of these songs except for one. It's just kind of a fatigue factor for me for most of these songs because I didn't think any of these songs were just outright horrible. I really enjoyed the majority of this set list. So, Smoke on the Water, I'm kind of burnt out on the riff because that's like the beginner guitar riff that everybody plays. So that's, I kind of got a little sick of that. You got Another Thing Coming. The reason I'm burned out on this is how Rob Halford does it live, the chorus. He if you think it's been around, he rushes through it, and I can't enjoy the song because I can't sing along with it because he's doing it in such a weird way.
Everything will sit around as well goes by.
Yeah, exactly, like that, and it just throws me off. Sharp Dressed Man, it's another one I'm kind of burnt out on. Crossroads, everybody and their mother covers Crossroads. Rush does a good cover of it on their Feedback EP. And then the one song that I actually don't like is Stellar by Incubus. It's okay. It's just horrible. I was never a big Incubus fan. I there's other bands of that kind of genre that I prefer over them. And this was an okay song, but it was probably my least favorite out of the whole set list. So.
Yeah, surprising to me because, with all those iconic songs, I expected a little bit different.
Yeah.
And now that I heard the two hated list, I can't believe there's one song on this list that's god awful horrible. I can't
might have
believe
overlooked
none of
it.
you guys looked at it,
I
but
might have overlooked
it'll
it.
be on my list. So.
Yeah. I'm interested
Don't
to hear
worry.
which one you're talking about.
I could see fatigue factor on some of them songs, Dylan, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, BB.
Let's hear it.
All right. Number 5, most hated song on this. Sorry, Dylan. Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, no.
Once again, like Steve, I'm not in the David Bowie thing. Song number 4, Spanish Casual Magic, because it could have been so many different songs, and the guitar work in this is amazing.
Yeah.
The vocals on this song just isn't very good to me. Song number 3, Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand.
Come on.
God awful, horrible song.
That's such a good song.
Song number 2 from the Ramones, I Want to Be Sedated.
You just hate the Ramones.
I do. I never got them.
I'm not
I
a
don't
huge
get
guy
them.
either.
And the worst, god awful song that has not been mentioned. And if I'm wrong, I'll walk home because the god awful worst song on this list is Infected by Bad Religion.
Okay,
Whoever the fuck they are, the god awful worst song ever, easily the worst song.
I had that as my number 2, but then I had to put Hendrix in again. I did have that.
It,
All right.
Yeah,
And Steve's honorable mention.
yeah. I was underwhelmed by that song.
Infected is. Ugh.
I didn't hate it. I was underwhelmed by it.
Is that the band that came out at the Foo Fighters thing, at the Foo Fighters concert?
No, that's Bad Brains.
Oh, they're both suck.
No, Bad Brains is good. They're
No.
an iconic punk group.
No, they both suck.
No, Bad Religion is different. Than
Yeah,
Bad
good
Brains.
call on that, BB. You saw I literally had that written down.
That was tough to get through. I'm like, God.
Forgot about that one.
Oof.
Well, isn't that? I feel like that's telling enough that I forgot about it, that I didn't put it on any of the lists.
You hate Smoke on the Water more than you hate Infected.
It's not that I hate Smoke on the Water. It's that I.
Well, he's so bad he just blocked it out of his mind.
Yeah.
All right, so what songs surprised you guys that, like I said, that you hadn't heard before or hadn't heard in a while, and you were like, "Ooh, shit, that song's good." What do you got, Dylan? Just off the, I wrote mine down, so I'm a little better prepared. But.
It's absolutely Taken Off by the Donnas. That song kicks ass. That was the song that I came out of this being like, how have I not listened to more of the Donnas? Because this song, really fantastic. That was definitely my pick. Take It Off.
Yeah, I like Dylan's pick. That would have been on mine, but mine I'm going to say "Hey You" by the Exies?
Yeah, the Exies. That was a good one too.
That was catchy. Vocals are great. The guitar work is really, really good. And even another one, "Heart Full of Black," I thought was really, really good from Burning Bridges.
Yeah.
I actually, the very first one I've written down is the Exies song, the "Hey You." I really like that. I thought it was really good. I never even heard of the band before, and it's like a hard rock song. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that what they usually play? I don't know. Are they new? Well, they can't be new because this came out back in 2011. He said.
Yeah, they
right?
formed in 1997, broke up in 2010.
Yeah, so I never heard of them. Even they've been out that long. The Donnas "Take It Off" definitely. I really enjoyed that song. BB, I love the Franz Ferdinand song.
It's so good.
It reminded me of fucking once again Royal Republic. That's the song that I was thinking of when I watched the Royal Blood video. I thought it was cool. It had that.
good. It's got that
like the
bounce.
beginning. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? But
Yeah.
then when it
Once it
gets
kicks
going
in.
after about 30 seconds,
Yes.
like if you chop off that first 30 seconds of that song, it's really good. And I also have "Heart Full of Black" as well, the Burning Brides. Another band I never heard of. I don't know what their story is either, but that was a good song. And there was a lot of the Franz Ferdinand song had a really catchy riff. I liked it. The "Heart Full of Black" it was cool. I thought it was good. And that's like I said. I don't know what their story is either.
The bands that they played with are pretty good. They were opening band for the White Stripes.
I thought you said good.
They opened for Queens of the Stone Age.
I thought you
they
said
opened
good.
for Audio Slave, A Perfect Circle, which is like the guys from Tools,
right,
other
yeah.
band. Mastodon, Eagles of Death Metal, which is Josh Homme's like other side project that he sometimes does with. The Melvins and Marilyn Manson. They're from Philly, actually. Burning Bright.
From Philly.
They
Never heard 'em.
1999 through 2014. So a lot of these bands are no longer going, which is probably why we haven't heard too much from them.
Right. All right, cool. So there's our Guitar Hero Extraordinaire episode. And thanks, Dylan, for coming up with that quick. Like you said, like we literally, Dylan came up with this episode idea yesterday, which, we're usually a little more have our shit together than that. But it was a fun episode, like most of the songs we're familiar with, and it was cool to hear a couple new songs that that I hadn't heard before. And it brought back a lot of cool memories of my family going down with BB's family, setting up, playing Guitar Hero, drinking a case of beer, and like wanting to beat the shit out of each other by the end of the night. And then later on it morphed into Rock Band, where like we could, four of us could play together. You get a couple guitars playing, and then you have the drums and the vocals and stuff. And it was cool. Like I said, it brought back a lot of cool memories, and we need to do that. We need to get that hooked up again and have a night. We'll drink the case of beer first this time.
There you go.
And then we'll see how it goes. And cops will be called there, although they're across the street from your house quite a bit too, so they know
be all right.
They know our neighborhood for sure. So go ahead, BB.
Easily 100% ditto of what you said. Great memories. And it was always fun, like when you and your brother and your mom would leave, and me and your dad would stay, and we keep drinking more and keep playing more. Like one more song, one more beer, one more song, one more beer, one more song. It'd be like 1 a.m.
I'd be staggering up the street.
But yeah, definitely a fantastic idea. Great memories. Easily one of the many things that glued the three of us together, as pretty much as a very small family, if you would use that word. But great stuff. Brought back even like not much memories of us hanging out doing that. Even some of the songs like that you haven't heard in a while. Like I Smoke on the Water, like it's a fatigue factor, but I haven't heard that song in a long time.
Yeah.
Like even like Frankenstein, it's so cool. It's such a catchy song, and just a different element of what you didn't expect to why they put that in Guitar Hero. I still don't know why, but very, very good idea, and I love when you come up with these crazy ideas because they always fit. Good job.
Well, thank you. This is a blast from the past for me. Like I said, Guitar Hero kind of helped form my taste in music. A lot of the songs that were on this game and the games going forward became some of my favorite bands and the music that I would listen to and eventually play live, because Guitar Hero got me into like playing music and performing live on stage, and it was just like a really formative experience for me playing Guitar Hero as a kid. And honestly, I would love to explore the games after, because I mean, it rocks the 80s, has a lot of great 80s like hair band soundtrack, good songs, and there's just so many different bands that some of these bands we haven't either heard of or we haven't talked about, and it's a good way to get those out there. And actually, there were some bonus songs, 17 of them, that we didn't get to listen to or talk about because we didn't really know them, and I didn't want to throw it at the, to make it
47 songs.
47 songs. So some of those songs are All of This by Seamus. I love some of these band names, by the way. I'm gonna get to the best one like towards the end. Behind the Mask by Anarchy Club. And the cool thing was also that a lot of these bands were like people from Harmonix, like they're the company that made the game. They were bands that they were in, so they like included them on there. The Breaking Wheel by Artillery, Call Out by the Acro Brats, Cavemen Rejoice by the Bags, Cheat on the Church by Graveyard Barbecue. They actually won a contest to get into the game. Decontrol by Drist, Eureka, I Found Love by the Upper Crust, Even Rats by The Slip, Farewell Myth by Made in Mexico, Fire It Up by some band called Black Label Society, I don't know.
Yes!
And that was like before they were big too, right? That was like when they were starting to really ramp up. Fly on the Wall by Din, Get Ready to Rock with 2 Ks by Freeze Pop, Guitar Hero by the band Monkey Steals the Peach.
That'll be Steve's gem next week, and my gem is from the Frozen Monkeys.
Monkey steals the peach.
Hey by Honest Bob and the Factory to Dealer Incentives.
What the fuck?
Sail Your Ship by Count Zero and Story of My Love by the Model Sons.
Holy
So
shit.
check out Honest Bob and the Factory to Dealer
Yes.
Incentives.
I have all their album.
Like I literally, Black Label Society is the only one I've ever heard
Never
of.
That's
heard
what
of
I
any
think I
of
heard of the
them.
Acrobrats. They sound familiar.
I don't know. That's just weird.
Let's
So,
see
yeah.
if Honest Bob are on Spotify. They are.
Oh, no way.
Honest Bob and the Factory to Dealer Incentives.
Oh, good lord.
That's gonna be a big, humongous playlist this week. Woo! You're already 30 songs in.
Wow.
What's 17 more?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So thanks for listening. Thanks for Dylan. Thank you for coming up with that idea on the slide there. We appreciate it. Like I said, always fun when you come up with these ideas, and I do like the ones that are not labor intensive for us, that we can, just boom, throw it together. And like I said, this literally came up yesterday, and it was fun to do it. Sorry, BC couldn't be here, and we would actually have to get BC to play Guitar Hero to participate in the next one.
True, yeah.
So we'll have to bust it out again. So he, I feel bad that BC's working. We kind of had a time crunch that we had to get this done this week, before the beginning of the week, because we have our big 200th episode coming up that we're recording this week as well.
Yep.
So once again, thanks BB and Dylan. Thanks for coming down on a Sunday, BB. I appreciate it. We usually don't. Usually, I think the last time we did a Sunday was like at 7 or 8 in the morning. So at least we
that
got
was-
to sleep in and stuff. So
And that was like a 4-hour session too, I think.
that was a lot. There were,
I think he bought breakfast too. I think
Yeah.
there was breakfast involved too.
I know, but
Next time.
our breakfast spot is closed on Sundays now.
Yeah, that's true.
Pinky's is
Really?
closed on
Pinky's
Sundays.
is
Yeah.
closed on Sundays. The
I
day
know.
of breakfast.
I hate that they're closed on Sundays. Michelle, open up on Sundays, please, so we can
Man,
we
oh,
can
man.
record on Sunday morning on a full stomach.
This episode brought to you by Pinky's Family
Pinky's
Restaurant.
restaurant.
Home of the frittata. All right, so guys, thanks out there. Hope everybody's doing good out there, staying safe, and hopefully we can get back and see some concerts very soon. We hope. And there's so far the Kiss Cruise is going on. There's big controvery now.
Got to order your sneakers too. The
Oh
Kiss
yeah,
sneakers.
order
yeah,
your
Kiss
Kiss
sneakers.
sneakers. Tom and Zeus were talking about them on Shout Out Loud Cast Zeus about the sneakers. They're like $179 a pair.
Yep.
And then some dude's like, "Oh, I just bought 4 of them." Like,
You get a discount if you buy 4, I think.
do you really?
I think so.
5%.
But say you don't. That's like almost $800 in fucking sneakers that he's probably going to leave in the box
Right.
and put on a shelf. Because you can't wear them because
No,
they'll
you
lose
can
their
wear them.
value if you wear them, and they are god awful fucking ugly sneakers.
I'm waiting for the pink Vinnie Vincents.
See,
I kind of like
they're coming.
I kind of like the Spaceman ones. Those are the only ones that I would really
They're just
come close to wearing.
so stupid. And if you like them out there, more power to you. But God love you.
So it's
You're gonna look
if you order
ridiculous.
3 variants, you get 50% off the 4th one. So if you order 3 of them, you get 50% off the 4th style.
Oh,
Oh, so instead of 800, you're paying
So that's
700.
I feel like that's the incentive to get people to buy the Catman.
yeah.
It's like,
if you
we'll
buy
get half off,
please.
the Spaceman, the Star Child, and the Demon, you'll get the Catman
we
half
should
price
all
off.
we should all get a different one.
We'll pull them in. We'll pull our money.
We could get BC.
Let's do a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
It's only till April 30th, so act now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
12
Actually-
days left. Woo.
BC could be the Catman.
Yeah,
ones.
this episode will be out. Will be in time. So if when you
can
hear
get
this,
you can get the Star Child
get on
ones.
there.
We'll give you the Demon ones, and I'll take the Spaceman ones.
BC is the.
Well, why don't we do the
drummer.
liquor box thing? I'll take Paul's. You could take
take
Jeans.
Jeans, yeah.
You could take Aces, and BC gets.
Oh yeah, there you
Peters.
go. We'll do the instruments that we actually.
Either
play.
way, BC.
Either way, BC stuck
Whoever
with the
wins-
fucking Catman.
It's like
Fuck.
it's like the tagline for Alien vs Predator. Whoever wins, BC loses.
BC loses.
All
Sorry,
right.
BC.
Yep, sorry, BC. All right, guys, thanks for showing up and hanging with us this week, and we will be back next week. And in 2 weeks, we will have our 200th episode, which is going to be awesome.
Yep.
And thank you guys for sticking with us for all these episodes. It's always a blast, always fun hanging with these guys, my son, my brothers, my family guys here. And thanks for listening, you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we will see you next time. And there definitely will be next time.